Mr. President, let me say at the outset how proud I am to serve with my colleague, Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois. Her sacrifice for America is nothing short of amazing. Her life story, her commitment to the men and women in uniform that she served with, to the veterans and others, is now well established not just in my state but across this nation. Only a small minority of Americans have had the privilege and honor of serving in the military. Many, like myself, count themselves as those who respect the military and understand that they deserve that respect for their willingness to volunteer to serve and even to die for this nation. What Senator Duckworth has done with her life is a clear indication of the spirit of the fighting women and men who keep this nation democratic and safe. I'm really disappointed. What a great moment it would have been in the history of the Senate if we had Republican support as well as Democratic support for the Duckworth resolution. I'm sorry the senator from Georgia objected. She took exception to the Atlantic magazine article, the one that said where the president called those who died in war losers and suckers. But even that article has been accepted by Fox News as being a valid comment made by the president and reported. But if we were to take the Atlantic magazine and set it aside, there's ample evidence of this president's attitude toward our military. We all heard Donald Trump say publicly when he was running for president in 2015 about our friend and colleague, the late John McCain. He's not a war hero. I like people who weren't captured. 5 years in a prisoner of war camp in Vietnam, and this president, Donald Trump, dismisses him as no war hero. John McCain suffered for this nation. He deserves the respect of everyone, let alone the president. We also saw Donald Trump publicly attack a Gold Star family in 2016, the parents of the late Humayun Khan, an Army captain killed in Iraq in 2004. We heard President Trump dismiss traumatic brain injury faced by service members and veterans as just headaches. We've seen his silence in the face of reports that Russia offered bounties to kill American service members in Afghanistan. We've witnessed his use of military officials for photo ops or for his own personal security purposes. And recall the scene in A Very Stable Genius by Washington Post reporters Philip Rucker and Carol Leonnig, in which Trump called the service chiefs, quote, a bunch of dopes and babies, and barked, "You're all losers. You don't know how to win anymore." President Trump repeated those claims again at a news conference just this week. These are just a few examples of not fake news, but real news about this president's attitude toward the American fighting men and women. It's no surprise that he would say vile things privately if he would say these things publicly. Instead of respecting our troops, President Trump ridicules them. Instead of bowing his head in humility, he barks insults and obscenities. No president in our history, none that I can even imagine, have been so juvenile, so abusive, and so cynical in speaking of our fallen heroes. And what do we hear from Republican veterans and office holders about these sickening comments? Very little, if anything, in objection. Their silence is deafening. Mr. President, I just want to close by thanking my colleague, Senator Duckworth, for bringing this matter to the floor of the United States Senate. Every member of the Senate, men, women, Democrat, Republican, we all carry the flag, proudly march in parades, and give those inspirational speeches on Memorial Day about the men and women who have served our nation. But where are the voices in the United States Senate today to speak out against the outrages of this president? I yield the floor.